Welcome back, everybody. My name is Joe. This is Work Hard RC, and today we're going to be taking a look at the brand new Storm Master. This one's by Veeniix. It's the V997. Let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so we were on vacation with the family at Legoland. I got a nice email from the company here, Veeniix, and they asked me if I wanted to take a look at one of their new RC vehicles. Now, this is pretty cool. I was seeing a lot of TikTok videos as we were out and about of this particular model, and didn't think too much of it, other than that I thought it was pretty cool. In 2011 or so, I was really big into airsoft. I had an airsoft field called Havoc Airsoft. You might be able to still see some of the videos if you search back on YouTube. It was a lot of fun, so I was always into things that were shooting projectiles, whether it be 6mm BBs or paintball or something along that line. So when I saw this, I thought that was pretty cool. When they contacted me and I saw what they were going to send me, I was like, wow, this is going to be pretty fun. So let's go ahead and do a quick unboxing, see what's inside the box. We'll put it together, take it out for some fun. Alright, so as we can see right here on the box, we see the Storm Master nicely printed on the box. Now the box does kind of have like a metallic sheen to it, very nice, and then the Storm Master kind of just pops. Looks very cool on the box, and then all the way around you get some more details as far as the functionality, what it comes with. You can see there everything that's included in the box, and then on the other side you get some different pictures of it. So that's pretty standard as far as the box. Now it does say ages 14 and up on the box. My daughters are pretty excited to use this, my oldest being 8 years old, so we'll have her help me with some of the recording and setting up some targets, I'm sure, with some of their dolls and other things. So should be pretty fun. But so far the packaging looks really nice, very well thought out, and pretty quality to keep this thing nice and secure. Now it is a decent size. Doesn't seem too heavy, but it is a decent size. So you can see here all that nice foam. It is very secure. So this is what you get in the box right here. Take off that top foam, and then we see the Storm Master itself. So let's go ahead and take it out piece by piece and see what's in here. So we'll start here. Actually, let's take off this top layer a little bit better. Be able to get it a little bit better. So let's start with this here. Looks like we got a bottle. I'm assuming this is to measure the water that we're going to use for the Orbeez, because it does shoot out Orbeez. We have the instruction manual right here. Now it is pretty in-depth in the sense of how it's written out, as far as showing the different pieces, how it functions, the different driving modes, which from what I've seen in other YouTube shorts, the driving capability is pretty cool, how it can go left to right, almost like a crab walk, a vertical, straight, backwards. So it should be pretty cool to drive. I just imagine it'll be a little bit of a learning curve from what I'm used to, but we're going to figure that out here shortly. So you got your instruction manual there. You do have a pair of safety goggles, and this was always a big deal when we had our airsoft field. You always want to protect your eyes. Now, I don't imagine this is going to shoot very hard, and given its Orbeez that are water filled, shouldn't hurt you too much, but again, you just want to take precaution just in case. So it's very cool to have that in the box. You also have in the packaging here the charger, and this is going to be for the batteries. This does come with two batteries. One battery I had already taken out to charge as I was opening up the box, and this is the charging cord. It is USB-C, and then you can see it plugs in here on the top. There are 4 lights. Once those are all green, you'll know that it's charged, so you won't have any issues as far as overcharging the battery. And again, it does have 2 of those. And then you have a tool for adjustment here. Grab this. We'll figure out a little bit later exactly what that's for. We do have a Phillips screwdriver. Now I believe this is going to be to get into the battery case. And we have, let me see what this is. I'm not too sure what this piece is, but again, we'll figure that out here shortly. It looks like we have quite a few bags of Orbeez. Now each one of these holds, I believe, 500 pieces of 7mm Orbeez. Now in the past I was used to 6mm BB, so it'll be a little bit larger, but you can see here by looking through the clear plastic there that you do have the Orbeez that will fill with water, and then we'll read the instructions and get those filled up so we can take this out. That does come with, let me see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 bags of Orbeez, so you guys are pretty set for a while. And again, Orbeez you can purchase either from the website, from Amazon, or from pretty much anywhere that sell Orbeez. So just make sure the 7mm, and then you'll be good to go. So that's what comes in that portion of the packaging. Now let's go ahead and get to the controller. Now the controller does not come with batteries, and the packaging I don't believe has batteries either, so you'll have to provide batteries. And it looks like, I'll have to open this up to tell you which batteries. Actually, since we have our screwdriver, let's go ahead and open this up now. And we'll take a look at what kind of batteries we need. Looks like we're going to need 3 AA's for the controller, so we'll get that set up here soon so that we can take it out. But 3 AA batteries for the controller. It does not come with them, but you're good to go with 3 AA batteries with that controller. Now it looks very simple, almost like a controller, like an Xbox, or more of like an Xbox controller. So again, we'll have to kind of get to know this controller and figure it out, but it looks like the joysticks move pretty freely. And we do have some triggers here. It looks like it says shoot and load, so pretty cool. That should be pretty fun to use. And here looks like we have the turret. Let's go ahead and take this out. This seems pretty solid and big. So you can see there nicely written, the Storm Master. It looks like it is magnetic. When you put that here on the top, it should power it up. And that should be pretty fun while we set that up. So pretty cool. See the nice orange tip there. And I believe we have a laser just below that right there. So you want to be careful of that. I'm not sure how powerful the laser is. I don't imagine it'd be too powerful. Just be careful that it won't be shining that in anybody's eyes. And it looks like we have our ability to load right there on the top. So we can put all of our pellets in there. So we'll put that here on the side, and we'll go ahead and take out the vehicle itself. These wheels look very interesting. We'll take a closer look at that here shortly. Just make sure there's nothing else in here. So it looks like we have our loader right here. We'll get to that here in a bit. Make sure there's nothing else in here. And again, right here is where the batteries went. I do have the batteries charging, so that we're good to go here in a while when we take it out. Let's go ahead and get rid of this foam. Again, the packaging looks very, very nice. And this sells, I believe, for $130. I'll post that here on the bottom so you guys can check it out if you guys want to get one of these. But this is the main heart of the vehicle right here. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at this and then get it pieced together and give it a quick test run since we have the battery charging, and then we'll take it out for some actual real-world use here. So let's go ahead and put some of these parts on there. Alright, so we basically have everything laid out that was in the box. Let's go ahead and quickly put in some of the batteries. And again, the batteries for the controller are 3 AA batteries. So let's get those installed right now so we have that ready to go when we put in the battery for the vehicle itself. So let's go ahead and put those 3 AA batteries inside there. And again, it doesn't come with them, but it does come with the batteries for the vehicle itself. So we have that ready to go. And then looks like the power button right there in the middle. So on and off. So that's all ready to go. We'll go ahead and throw the battery inside of here. We'll make sure that it's set to off first. And it doesn't use a Phillips screwdriver also to take off the battery compartment lid for the vehicle itself. Let's go ahead and take that off. So once that's off, we're going to want to install the battery, it looks like with the arrow facing. So you see those notches there with a little black piece right there on the battery. And you'll see that. Let me see if I can get that. Looks like little connectors there. We're going to want to face that appropriately so that they line up. Put that in place. Put that ribbon just around it so we can take it out easy. We're going to go ahead and close that door back up. Screw it in place. And now it's ready to get some power once we go over everything. So that's good to go there. So essentially, when you open everything up and you take a look at it, you're going to see that it is going to show you, first of all, how the turret works. So let's take a look at that piece here. And on this, we're going to see, obviously, where the, they call them water bombs, where those launch out of. It's going to be the launching port there. Now, that is a laser sight, and I did figure out that this piece that was in the box is going to be used to cover the laser. Should you not want to use a laser, you can use that cover to cover the laser there. It does have an infrared sensor. You do have the reservoir like I mentioned before. And it does have lighting, looks like here on the sides. So those are lighting. And then we have the axis head here. You can see obviously there, so we can turn that up and down. And then obviously left and right. And then we have our control system here just below. And that's how that's marked on the instructions there. So pretty intensive as far as the tech that's in this piece or this unit here, as far as how it moves, and we'll get a closer look of how that works here shortly. But let's go ahead and move on to the next part. So there is a speaker on this vehicle, and you'll see that it does have just above the, or however you're looking at it, above the power button, you'll see these holes here. That is a speaker. And then again, you have the on-off button and the compartment for the battery there. Then as we move along, you'll see that it does have a detachable protection rack right here. So this could protect it from, I don't know, any battles you might be having. Now, I hear that these do sync with each other, so if you have another one, they can actually battle each other and take some damage. So that's pretty cool. You have your all of your tech here in the middle as far as how it attaches to the turret. You have your battery indicator. Where's that piece at? Looks like here in the front, the battery indicator right here in the front. And now these wheels, I'm not sure I've seen anything like this before. They are omnidirectional, so that's going to be pretty cool to see how that works and how these tires spin. So they're all pretty independent of each other. So depending on what direction they're going to be moving is really going to be interesting to see how it drives out in the field. So that's going to be pretty cool. Let's go ahead and take a look at the controller briefly. Now on this controller, you're going to have your shoot and load here on this side. You're going to have your on-off switch here on this side. And then you're going to have your shoot trigger right here on the side where it says shoot. Now this is called the 3D tripod head joystick. So that's going to be for the head. So as you can move, I'm calling it a turret, but they're calling it a head in the instructions. So that's going to be moved to move the actual turret piece here. I'll just throw this on real fast. That's going to be used to move that piece there in the direction that you want to aim it. And then this is going to be used as the joystick to drive. And then you have, when you push this on, you'll see the power light here on the side. You do have your driving mode indicators. And then you have your speed mode indicator here on this side. Now the speed regulation is something I'm going to be looking at as I learn to drive this. I'll probably have it on low, so you'll see the L and the H here. And then here you have the driving indicators like 1, 2, and 3. So if you're in 1, that's going to be for straight line or drift. So straight line drift there. You're going to have a drift around the pile. So it's going to probably go more to like a circle. I saw some folks doing like almost like a square type of line when they're driving it. And then you're going to have a simple drift, which is the third gear. So that's going to, or third driving mode. You can toggle between it right there with those two buttons. But that's pretty much the controller. All these extra buttons here we'll test out once we turn it on, so we can actually see. Now there's a speaker and it has music, so we'll see how that goes. There's a lock on there, and then it has like a circle. I can't go too crazy on the table, but let's go ahead and turn it on just to see how it does. We'll move some of this other stuff here so we don't drop it as we're testing it on the table before we take it out for some fun. And again, we do have to put these Orbeez in some water. When I'm doing that, I will do a quick portion of the video for that as well. Let's go ahead and move all this out of the way. We're not going to be loading with any of the water bombs, so we're going to put that on the side too. And then we'll put our loader here on the side as well. But let's go ahead, like usual, we'll just go ahead and turn on our controller. So we have that light blinking there. We'll turn this over, and we're going to turn this on. All right, so we had the controller vibrate. So that's pretty different. Yeah, I don't know if you guys heard that or not, but this was vibrating. So let's go ahead and put it into low. Let me see if I can do that here. All right, that's kind of scary there. let's mess with the turret. Okay, so we got sound. I don't know if I like that sound too much. So we turn the sound off. So if we almost like a mute button here, right there, you can see that button. This is the side here. The button right here looks like a speaker. That will turn the sound on and off. Nice. Let's turn this in this direction here so we can get a better look at it. So it looks like we got the ability to turn right and the ability to turn left. It doesn't go all the way around, but you do have pretty decent movement. And then it does lower itself with this protector down there, and then you go high. Let's go and turn that sound off. It is pretty quick. It does move pretty fast. See if we can get some movement as see if we can go up and down as we're turning. I think you might have to go up and then turn. Let's see if we can do that at the same time. It sure sounds like it's trouble, like it's pretty fast, so that's gonna be pretty fun. I haven't figured out how to put it into low yet. I thought I'd be able to just toggle through here. Let's see, let's pick this up so I don't drive it off the table. And mess with some buttons here. Let's see what this one does here. Alright, so if I push this button here, that's like a circle. That will more than likely go into a circle. We'll have to test it out when we get out there. And if I push the other button, it's going to go in the other direction. Looks like that's the case. This button, I'm not too sure yet. And here, okay, here's where we toggle. Alright, so that's a toggle there. Alright, and so, alright, so we're looking at this. Let me, I should be pretty safe to put this down now. Actually, let's leave that on there. See if I have anything to put this on so we don't lose it. Elevate it here just a little bit so the wheels aren't touching the ground. Alright. Okay, so it looks like we have these two arrows here. That's going to toggle between high speed and low speed. And you'll see that indicated by the light here. And if we go to the other side, we have the arrows. That's going to allow you to go from different drive modes. Or I thought it did. Let me see here. No, so we have the arrow here is going to allow you to adjust the speed, high and low. So those two arrows, high and low speed. Just below that, you're going to have the indicator here that's going to allow you to change the mode. So the drive mode is going to change there. So you have 1, 2, and 3. So you have 1 there. See 2, that 2, the two lines connected, and 2 lights are on, that's 2. And then just up, that's 3. So the up light is 3. So that is that there. Here's where that versus mode is. I told you if you had another one, you can pair them and battle each other. So that's pretty cool. And then it looks like it has the music button there. Let's go ahead and push that, see what that does. Let's turn the speaker on. All right. See if it has other songs. All right. All right, a couple different tones. Pretty cool, I guess. That's different. That's different, I must say that. So that's pretty cool. It is loud. It'd be cool if you can program it, but we'll see how interesting it is when we get out there. Kind of like the sound of the turret. It might, I imagine it'll get annoying over time, but that sounds pretty cool. Now there isn't anything loaded in here, but let's just see what this sounds like when it's shooting. Alright, so the piston sounds decently strong. It does have full auto. Okay. Let's see if we can feel some of that air coming out. Now, building airsoft guns that were like at 400 FPS for indoor or 350 FPS for indoor, I don't assume this is going to shoot very hard, and it doesn't feel like it does. But with the pellet or the BB behind it, it should put enough pressure to get it going pretty far. We'll measure to see exactly how far it launches, and we'll do it at different different lengths, different angles, see how far we can get it. See if we can take a look at that laser. We'll take the cover off, and then we'll figure out how to turn that laser on. I think that's the laser sight. All right, let's get this laser sight pointed down and turn it on. See if we can get that on my hand here. There is the laser. Pretty cool. And the laser is going to be able to be turned on. You'll see a little like target on the controller. You push that, turns laser on and off, and it does have sound if you have the sound on. Pretty cool. Standard laser there. Nice. So if you have a target that you need to get with your laser, the turret does move pretty quick. I got to give it that. And the way these wheels are moving, it does seem to be pretty quick. Drive, let's see, drive and move. So you can drive and move the turret. Alright, so that's capability there. Alright, I like that. So we are in drive mode 3. Let's go ahead and put that in a different drive mode. Oop. Put that in 1. All right, so left, right, kind of see how the tires move. All right, pretty cool. Well, this should be pretty exciting to take out. I do like that a lot. Let's see what this one, the shoot and load. That's gonna be pretty gnarly. All right, looks like we've had our fun on the tabletop. Let's put that here more in the middle. You guys can check that out as the wheels spin. See if we don't lose it. And I'll put it in different directions. You kind of see what it looks like as it's moving before we take it out. Turn that laser off. Put that cover back on just in case we turn it on. It's nice that it has that cover in case you actually push the button. Now, I don't want to take this thing apart, but it does seem like it has a pretty decent amount of... Oh, we'll see that falls off. Just put the... We'll leave that off. I don't know if that cover's going to do us any good anyways. But it does seem like it has a good amount of pressure. I'm not sure if it indicates the FPS of the water bombs. And if I have my chronograph, we can go ahead and test it out. I have to check if I still have it. And we can actually test the feet per second, which would be pretty interesting. Doesn't say on there. But again, if I have my chronograph, we will definitely check the FPS. But check out the movement of the tires here. They are independent, so we kind of have the controller angled. Other angle. Bottom. And then again, we push this circle one. You see it kind of moves by itself. In the opposite direction. So, pretty cool. So far, so good. Everything seems to be working. Let's go ahead and take this thing out, get some targets set up, get some target practice in, let the girls set up their targets and test it out. It's like a lot of fun. This is $130 on the website. I'll go ahead and link that in the description if you guys want to pick one up. But so far, so good. Let's go ahead and get these Orbeez in the water. We'll see how long that takes. We'll do a quick video on me prepping that. But let's go ahead and take this thing out. Alright, we have our bowl here for our water. Let me see what these things are called. Water bullets. So let's go ahead and get one of these packs. It says that there are 500 in the pack that it comes with. Let me just double check to make sure that's the case. 500 pieces. They do come in this little pack. It's really crazy that they start out this small and they're going to be 7mm water bombs. So let's go ahead and open one of these packets up if we can without ripping the other open. Should probably use some scissors, but I just don't have any at hand, so we got that taken care of there. Go and put these on the side. Now I do have, it does say on the package to use clean water for soaking, pure water. So I went ahead and got just a bottled water here, so we're going to use that. Now I'm not sure exactly how much water to use like per packet. It doesn't really say that. I know that they'll be soaking up the water, so I might just use maybe half of this pack. I know that'll kind of limit our fun, and you know, I imagine it's going to be some great time shooting some targets with these. So let's go and open this packet, put it in the container, and then we'll go ahead and soak it. I believe it says to soak for about 4 hours. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. Let's get this opened as best we can. And we'll go ahead and pour some of these in here. Now, it doesn't look like much, but, you know, let's go ahead and just do a little pack. See how this water goes. If I need to add some water, we will. I don't imagine these things will overfill, but I'm not sure if that looks like 500 pieces. But that's what it says in the packaging, so we're going to go ahead and go with that. Let's go ahead and add some water. Just gonna, well, maybe I'll just go ahead and put the whole thing in there. We'll see how it goes. All right. We'll see how far that water takes us, and if it takes us where we need to go as far as these water. What are these things called again? Water bullets. I keep wanting to call them Orbeez, but I want to keep calling them Orbeez because I imagine these are not Orbeez, but they'll function the same if you guys are familiar with those. So let's go ahead, let these set for a while. Once they soak up all the water, we'll get our vehicle ready to go. We'll take it out for some fun. Alright, so we have everything ready to test out the Storm Master. Now we're going to give it a test of its ability to shoot some cans down. Now I don't have a problem drinking monsters, there's just a lot of monster cans there over time. But we're going to set up some targets test its ability to shoot with the turret, and then we'll do a little bit of test driving. I'm gonna run it in the high speed, so we'll keep it there. And then we might try low speed, but I figured why not keep it at high speed and have some fun. So let's go ahead and load this up. My daughter's gonna be helping me. Go ahead, baby girl, load it up. Put your glasses on first. Now, I'm not sure this is waterproof, but I'm assuming, stop, we gotta wait for it to go down first. Just tap it a little bit. Got a little bit too much. It's alright, cans are fine. This is our first time loading, so yeah, I would have not have filled up this entire reservoir. Let me see, we'll take this off. Alright, so it's full. You're gonna put these back in the bottle here. I'm losing some Orbeez here, but there we go. Alright, so we're pretty full there. Let's go ahead and see if we can close that door. Alright, door's closed. Battery is on. Now let's go ahead and set up some targets. We do get a little burst of wind here and there, so we'll have to see how that goes. I do know this is probably going to be a little bit difficult to maneuver, so we'll see how that works out for me. So let's go ahead and see if we can see some of these cans down. We'll get maybe about, let's see, about 5 feet away. Let's go ahead and move this turret around. Let's see if we can bring these cans down there. Oh, we hit one. Let's see if we right through. Doesn't look like we're shooting anything. Should get some stuff out. Ooh, there we go. That's some full auto. Now we've filled it. Let's see. See if we have some issue here, but it was really full, so maybe that was part of the reason. Let's check it out. Alright, I think we're out. Go ahead and refill it. Remember, don't fill it up too much, okay? Just pour it in there lightly. Just put a little bit so that it goes down. Stop. Go. Stop. Go. Stop. Stop. See if those fit in there. Alright, so it doesn't hold too much as far as the capacity. We're learning that right now. We'll set up a couple because not too many. So those 500 that come in the bag, we're going to burn through them fairly quickly. But we're getting the hang of it as we go. That's good, girl. Take a baby. Here, baby. That's good. Alright, let's try to knock these down. Now I didn't find my chronograph to see what it shoots as far as feet per second, but it doesn't seem to shoot very hard. isn't necessarily a bad thing since you have kids, and this is marketed towards 14 and younger. I'm sorry, and older. Definitely not younger. But there's a bit of a learning curve as far as shooting it and getting it to shoot. So if you spin it around and kind of mix those up a little bit, it does shoot. Probably shoots best in the move. So keep everything moving. Yeah. So let's get this moving so we can get some better shots. Go ahead and set a couple back up, girl, and then we'll make sure this is full. Yeah, the capacity isn't very much at all. I guess I should look more that this is all the capacity here, but it's actually the capacity is right about there. So put some more in there. We'll do some shots in the move, and then as she's setting that up, we'll go ahead and do some test driving. So we're gonna have it in high speed right now. It's pretty quick. The turret does move while it's driving, so I think that'll help in trying to shoot those balls. It keeps them moving downwards. Keeps them all nice and funneled, so that's why we'll have to do is shoot on the move, stop, shoot, drive, and go from there. So go ahead and park it over here. Check out some of these cans. Let's go put some more in there, guys. Bring it low. Just a little bit. Back it up a little bit, and go forward, stop it. I got to the shooting. Forgot I was recording. We'll shoot decently hard. Take a look at this can. Getting some little dents on there. Let's get some shots at that can there. Some damage here. Yeah, pretty good. Alright, so it can shoot. Shoot on the drive. Tone doesn't necessarily matter. Let's go ahead and test out some more driving here. And these have 2 batteries. That's a good thing. Side to side. These are pretty good. Side to side is actually pretty cool with the, if you have a second one, you guys want to be battling each other. The side to side maneuver, actually pretty cool. Things battle ready. Those wheels were a little bit of a concern, but they're actually pretty well on this gravel. Not this gravel, this terrain. It might need to be cleaned up, but overall, doing pretty good. Let's take a look at them real quick. Holding up pretty good. Now, I think it's running a little bit slower. The battery life isn't too long, but you do get 2 batteries, so that's a good thing. It's really fun. Just make sure you have that screwdriver with you. Take out the battery. But it is really cool. I do like it. I'm thinking I'm going to have to get a second one, and we'll have to have some battles. Maybe next time I get some Barbie set up. We'll have some Barbie battles. Alright. Lots of fun. Pick one up. I'll link it in the description. Hope you guys liked it. This is the Storm Master A lot of cool capabilities out of this RC car. Hope you guys liked it. Remember to subscribe. We'll catch you guys next time.